Learn from the wise, integrate knowledge with action. Hello everyone, I'm Jane. Today, I want to share an article with you called The Sign of a Person Getting Better, Less. The ancient saying goes, less is more. On the journey of life, we must travel light to go further. Truly wise people know how to let go as they go. In the new year of 2023, less is the best gift we can give ourselves. Less talk, less trouble. Better to be clever with our words or simply say less. As the saying goes, deep water runs slow, wise men speak less. Throughout history, many people have made mistakes with their words and added thorns to their lives. For example, Lu Yuxi, who wrote inscription on a house in a humble abode, was a successful government official until a verbal misstep led to his downfall. After failing in the Yongjing reform, he was demoted out of the capital. With the strong recommendation of some virtuous ministers, he was able to make a comeback. Returning to Chang'an, Lu Yuxi was overwhelmed by the changes in the court. He happened to meet a friend at the Xuanwu Temple and wrote a poem, Thousands of Peach Trees in Xuanwu Temple, all planted by Mr. Lu after he left. The powerful people in the court compared themselves to peach blossoms and naturally heard the sarcasm in the poem. They instigated Tang Xuanzong to demote Lu Yuxi once again. Later, a new emperor came to the throne, and Lu Yuxi was given another chance to return to Chang'an. Unexpectedly, he returned to Xuanwu Temple and wrote another poem, Where Does the Taoist Who Planted the Peach Trees Go? Mr. Lu from the previous time has returned. With just one sentence, Lu Yuxi was exiled again to a farther place to work, completely losing his chance for promotion. The speaker means no harm, but the listener takes it to heart. Our words do not disappear with the wind. They accumulate over time and can represent our image or be used by someone with ulterior motives. Speaking out boldly is not necessarily a good thing, but speaking less is definitely not a bad thing. Even Hemingway once said, "We learn to speak by spending 2 years, and we learn to shut up by spending 60 years." In the new year, learn to speak less in groups and know when to stop talking. Over time, troubles will stop, storms will subside, hearts will be calm, and bodies will be at ease. Less thinking, less worry. The Chinese classic Li Zi tells a story of a man from the Qi state in the spring and autumn period who was constantly worried about the sky falling and the ground sinking. This excessive worry not only affected his daily life, but also made him seriously ill. His friend explained to him that the sky was made of accumulated gas and would not fall, and the ground was made of accumulated earth and would not sink. After the explanation, the man became relieved and his health improved. Although this story may seem ridiculous at first glance, there are many people around us who are always afraid of the future, worried about what if and just in case, and always doubting themselves and their past performance. As a writer said, people often confuse excessive thinking with problem solving, but the result is that we only get caught in a strange circle and cannot really solve the problem. Overthinking only adds to our worries and makes us mentally exhausted, leaving no energy to do things that are truly useful. The Song Dynasty writer Ouyang Xiu once suffered from melancholy illness due to his failure and depression. After trying ineffective medical treatments, he devoted himself to playing music, chess, calligraphy, painting, and poetry, thinking less and less, and miraculously recovered from his illness. Therefore, don't always worry about tomorrow, don't always regret the past. Focusing on the present and paying attention to positive things can keep us away from worries. When something keeps haunting us in our minds, we can control our thoughts by focusing on our 5 senses. By paying more attention to what we hear, see, smell, taste, and feel, we can rebuild our connection with the world. We can also write down everything on paper to stop our brain from overthinking. In short, when we think less, our worries fade away, and our hearts turn toward the sun. Less complaint, less sorrow. Throughout life, there are always difficulties and hardships. Faced with the injustice of fate, resentment can easily arise. However, complaining is not simple, it can bring anger, hatred, and illness. Therefore, a wise person will mostly make stop complaining their top priority when dealing with the world. During the Qing dynasty, the poet Yuan Mei was famous from a young age. but he failed to pass the imperial examination due to his inability to write essays on the 4 books. To prepare for the exam, Yuan Mei had to reread the 4 books and finally became a member of the Hanlin Academy at the age of 24. However, instead of a smooth career, he was transferred to various places due to failing the Manchu language exam. Seeing his peers promoted while he remained a low-level official, Yuan Mei had complaints in his heart. However, such complaints did nothing but made him feel more melancholic. Therefore, he stopped complaining and worked hard in his position while thinking about his future direction. Finally, at the age of 33, he decided to resign and live according to his heart's desire. Some people criticized him for being too reckless, but he laughed it off. Others lamented that he missed opportunities and didn't achieve success in his life, but he smiled and had no regrets. His optimistic attitude towards life enabled him to hike even at the age of 80 and was praised as an octogenarian with youthful spirit, trekking on clouds and mist. Don't get angry over trivial matters, and don't complain about major issues. A person who has no complaints and is naturally optimistic is like someone who possesses the secret of longevity, which can help them maintain a healthy state of body and mind. Positive thoughts are like the sunshine that one carries with them, illuminating every corner of life and keeping the heart warm. Less desire, less worry. As Mencius said, cultivating a contented mind through few desires. A person with fewer desires not only has a peaceful mind, but also maintains a balanced state of the internal organs. Jiang Tong, a centenarian Chinese medicine doctor who was once selected as one of the top 10 technological experts on both sides of the Taiwan Strait, shared his health secrets during his birthday banquet: laugh more, exercise more, and have fewer desires. Laughing can bring joy to the mind, exercise can strengthen the body, and having fewer desires can lead to contentment and happiness. Following these principles of health maintenance, Dr. Jiang, even at the age of 100, has maintained a sharp mind and agile body, seeing 40 patients per working day. The allure of superficiality can captivate our eyes, and desires can wreak havoc on our hearts. Living in this hectic world, desires often rear their heads and tempt us to pursue them. However, the more desires we have, the further we stray from the right path. Blindly chasing after them will only make us slaves to our desires. Only by pursuing them in moderation can we approach true happiness. As Xuanzi said, although desires cannot be completely eliminated, we can come close to it, and although desires cannot be eradicated, we can seek to control them. Since desires cannot be eradicated, we must learn to reduce them and give our hearts more time to be calm. When our hearts are calm, our desires diminish, and our psychological burden becomes lighter. The wise master Miaoji, who lived to be 116 years old, summarized his wisdom for living as 3 diligence, 3 stillness, 3 simplicity, and 3 joy. The 3 diligence refer to diligent thinking, diligent work, and diligent exercise. The 3 stillness refer to stillness of the mind, stillness of the breath, and stillness in action. The 3 simplicity refer to simplicity in regards to power, money, and age. And the 3 joy refer to finding joy in helping others, being content with what you have, and finding joy in yourself. While it may sound complex, it is actually quite simple to practice. Choose an interest that fully absorbs your attention or set aside 5 minutes a day to simply daydream. These practices can alleviate our psychological burdens, leading to a calm mind and a detached view of desires, which can then be effectively controlled. Over time, our inner voice becomes clearer, and we are better able to make the right choices. The Tao Te Ching says, "The great way is easy, yet people prefer the complicated." As we go through life, we come to understand that the best way to live is not to accumulate endlessly, but to learn to reduce and be content. With many desires, life can be painful, but with contentment, life is peaceful. Well, today's article sharing is over. Finally, I would like to ask you a question: do you think less is better, or more?